It's Wednesday, first pitch. Dave Cokin, the legend himself, my regular daily co-host with us, and Tony Finn. Tony, pull away from the camera, dude. Nobody needs to literally see all the pores in your skin.
That was scary, and it's early, so don't do that, man.
I don't sweat.
Yeah, and we've already had a commenter talk about how you look like a pedophile.
Wow.
Yeah, not the best comment you could get.
You mean somebody who does nails?
Oh, look at you, Tony. Hilarious. Yes. Someone who does nails. Nice to see you, boys. Tony, how have you been?
Okay. I mean, I still haven't hit the lottery, but we're here. I woke up. It's a good day.
Oh, I don't like when people judge their life by waking up. That's never a good sign.
Why?
Well, I want to judge my life based on pure happiness and joy.
Oh, I've been married 25 years. What the hell do you expect?
Okay, well said. Okay, boys, so I got a hard stop. Today I am heading out of town. I'm heading to the cottage for the next 3 days. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of jet skiing, boating. I got this new toy. It's like a hover surfboard that you surf on a lake. It has a remote control. So you stand up and then the surfboard is powered and you can surf for hours on a flat lake. Haven't used it yet. Today's the day. I'm pretty pumped. So that's the end of the small talk. St. Louis against Pittsburgh. Dave, we go to you first on every show. Wainwright, minus 105 against Lyles. The over and under in this game is 9.5. Wacky day all around yesterday. We'll talk about some of that. St. Louis winner yesterday, 4-3, as predicted by the Prez. They've won 3 in a row, 6 of 7. Pittsburgh in a total free fall. Again, here we sit, same as yesterday. I'm taking the better team, period, and that's St. Louis. I'm getting a short number. I like St. Louis, minus 105. Dave Cokin, to you, my brother.
So I had 2 plays last night. The free play was the loser on the Cardinals-Pirates game, and I'll talk about the winner when we get to the rematch tonight. Pirates get 3 runs before they even made an out. First 3 guys in the bottom of the first get on with a home run, so it's 3-0. Pittsburgh eventually closed the lead. It's 4-3 bottom of the 5th. Now I got a first 5 play on the Pirates. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th. Gonna win this, except they didn't. Strikeout by Bell, double play by Moran, who had an awful game for Pittsburgh, and that lost. The streak involved here, I think it's 17 now. Jordan Lyles, his last 17 July starts. His team, 0-17.
Wow.
That's not good. I don't trust Wainwright on the road at all. Both bullpens have seen some work. I would not be surprised if we get an over here. Not going to be a play for me.
Tony Finn?
Well, I think the price is right in this game. I mean, Wainwright is 107 years old. He has only a 22% strikeout rate. He has a 10% walk rate. His high 3 ERA is a mirage, complete mirage if you look at his underlying skill sets. And Dave's correct. I mean, Lyles actually has, at this point in time in his career, has more potential than Wainwright. You cannot possibly flush Wainwright unless you know that St. Louis is going to score, let's say, 6 or 7 runs.
There we go. Tony Finn, Dave Cokin, the Prez, first pitch. You can find us every single day, Monday to Friday, at WagerTalk TV, our YouTube channel. Next Tuesday, I've got a gentleman coming to my house to set up the studio. I'm pretty excited. We're getting close to professional quality, professional look, and I'm pumped. Colorado lost last night 11-1. They've lost 7 of their last 8 games. Washington Just killing it right now, and a great performance by Strasburg. Tonight we have Washington at minus 215. There are 203s on the board. The over and under is 9.5. Dave, talk to me.
Not much to say. The Nationals are big favorites for obvious reasons. They're the better team. Kyle Freeland has been a train wreck all season. And Corbin has been pitching pretty well of late. The Nationals winning 5 of his last 6 starts. Can easily justify Washington as a $2 favorite in this game.
Tony, any thoughts on this one?
Only that I agree with Dave. Freeland is fortunate to still be in this rotation, on this roster, for that matter, at this level, pitching at this level. It took him a month and a half to get adjusted to the National League and into his new role from Seattle to Washington. And I agree with that. Listen, easily justify 2-1. You could probably justify more in this game.
San Diego Padres against the Mets. 5-2 win by the Mets last night. 76% of the tickets have been written on the Mets so far today. The line is somewhere around minus 148. We have an over and under of 8.5, and Noah Syndergaard on the mound. I lean on the under in this game, boys. Last night it went under 5-2. New York Mets. Their bats aren't alive, but I think they're going to win the game, so I like the under. Dave Cokin.
Syndergaard's been pitching pretty solid ball for the Mets. Still buzzed that he might get traded. We'll have to wait and see on that. Lamette's on the mound for the Padres, and he is a pitcher I like. However, he's not back to the form he was showing as a rookie in 2017 before he went down with Tommy John and then missed all of last year. And in fact, the last time the Padres won a start with Lamette on the mound was well back in 2017. 0-3 this year, 0-7 in his last 7 starts of 2017 before he got hurt. So I'm not looking to play on a guy who just never wins. I do like his stuff. I think the line probably a shade higher than it should be, but there's not enough for me with the Padres, who are not playing well right now. So it's going to be a pass. I think the Mets will win the game, but I think you're paying a premium if you want to bet it.
Tony, Finn?
If you're going to play San Diego right now, you have to play. If you're going to back them, support them, and lay down hard-earned money on them, it's going to have to be, in my opinion, against right-handed pitcher. And that Syndergaard's probably not that pitcher. While Syndergaard hasn't been as good as he's been in years past, he's struggled with some of his command, and there's this thought in the back of his mind that he's possibly going to be bait or expendable before July 31st, then it makes this game really, in my opinion, it makes it a non-play for me.
Tony, Finn with us, Dave Cokin. Dave, what? What's so funny?
Wait, you went into Twilight Zone for just a second.
I'm always in the Twilight Zone. Dave, tell us what's going on with your baseball. You're killing it. You've been in the zone for a couple of months. Fill us in.
Just grind them out every day. I don't know. I'm not real big on hype. So, I just do the work, find the games where I think I've got the best advantage, and play them. And, most of them, they're doing reasonably well. Last 4 featured 4% plays. All winners. We'll talk about the 4th one, which was last night, in a moment. It's not the Cleveland-Toronto game. It's the game after that. No, I'm pretty happy with it, and really gearing up for college football. And there I will do a little hype. I think it's right around 64 or 65% the last 2 years. That's really good.
Yeah, we're gonna do some promos for you on college football. Starting in the next couple of weeks. I mean, there's no better college football handicapper on the planet than you. And, 2 years, somewhere around 65%. It's hard enough to do that in 2 weeks.
And that's on the college side. I don't want anybody to ever think that refers to my NFL, which I am Mr. Coin Flip in the NFL. I don't even know why I put stuff up, because I hit 50% every year, which is And I don't play much NFL. So most of my focus in football, almost all of it actually, is on college.
He's Dave Cokin. Tony Finn with us. Tony also doing well in baseball. I'm rolling in baseball. But we are chomping at the bit for the football season to start. Let's get back to baseball. Dave, Aaron Sanchez, looking like Roger Clemens and Sandy Koufax wrapped into one.
Blind squirrel finds acorn. And the streak ends for Aaron Sanchez. That's the first Toronto win in one of his starts after 11 straight losses. So all good things or all bad things must come to an end.
Yeah, well, we got Stroman on the mound tonight. The biggest trade bait Toronto has. Cleveland is minus 131. The over and under is 8.5. You know, you look at this game and you think to yourself, we've got two rested bullpens, two teams who didn't see the ball well from a hitting perspective yesterday. Stroh on the mound of great numbers, playing against Bieber, who is just, right there with him number for number. I think this game is going under the total. I think 8.5 is pretty high. I could see this game being 3-1, 3-2. That's where I'm going. Dave, talk to me.
Indians, Bieber's not only good, but he's lucky as well. That's a good combination. And Cleveland's 27-12 in his start since he became a major leaguer last season. That's really good. And he's got very good numbers on the road. His average game score this year on the road is 66. 50 is average, so 66 is really strong. Stroman's been really good, but he's not getting lucky. He's the guy who's pitched the best for Toronto among their starters, but he doesn't get much run support, which kind of figures because the Blue Jays just don't score much. And this look, I can't disagree with you. I mean, based on the two starting pitchers, this is going to be a game where runs are at a premium, and the under does make some sense. Now, the hazard there is that I will absolutely not play an full game under. Will not do it in baseball. I don't know that I'm going to play many full game sides the rest of the way. If you can handicap the bullpens, you are an absolute genius. There's no way to handicap these bullpens. It's a complete coin flip. Again, we'll talk about this in the next game, which I won. So to me, this is all first fives. If you like the Indians or the under, go first five and leave it at that.
Tony, what do you like in this game?
I would lean towards Toronto. I prefer Toronto because I prefer Stroman and his experience, albeit Dave laid it out pretty well. Stroman's never been really lucky, is because he pitches to contact and he's dependent on batted ball luck so much. And Bieber, his ticks, he has fly ball tendencies that would scare me to play an under, as Dave, and bullpens, etc. But in this game, if I'm going to play somebody, I'm going to take the veteran Stroman and hope that Toronto can scratch out a few more runs than they give up. That would be my play.
Dave, when does a team go up 8-2 entering the fifth inning and lose a game?
In this year's baseball, it's not that infrequent.
Yeah, well, I mean, and how about that ending? The New York Yankees with a massive comeback, 5 runs in the 8th to take the lead. Minnesota comes back with 2 in the bottom. Yankees go up by 2 in the top of the 9th. Minnesota with 1 run to tie it, and it ends in extra innings. This is what baseball should be all about. Excitement galore. I mean, I remember way back when a Philly-Toronto Blue Jay 15-13 or whatever it was, playoff game that read like this scorecard, but there's not going to be a more exciting and better game this year than a 14-12 victory for the New York Yankees yesterday.
So this was my winner. I had a 4 on the Yankees, and what you didn't mention was the last play of the game. Bases loaded, courtesy of walks for the second straight inning. Twins had tied the game the prior inning on 3 Chapman walks and a fly ball, and then they got out of it. Ottavino comes in, and he walks 3 guys with a 14-12 lead. And then maybe the play of the year, Aaron Hicks with an absolutely unbelievable catch, a diving catch going toward the center field wall. That's going to be a game winner for the Twins. They would have scored all three runners, had he not caught that ball, and I'd have lost 15-14. Instead, I win 14-12. But it's dumb luck. It was a dumb luck win because there was no right side in the baseball game. And I made up my mind. Unless it's some kind of an angle or a system, I'm done playing full games. You cannot there's no way to handicap these bullpens. They all suck. All of them. It's just up and down Major League Baseball. There's not a single, even the Giants, who have the best bullpen in the game, even their bullpen is not that, they blew a lead last night. They won it again in walk-off fashion. But as for tonight, and the Yankees and Twins, it's a definite no play for me. I don't even know what energy level is going to be left for these players. That incredible game last night, the bullpens got completely destroyed. So I don't know what, and you've got two guys, by the way, who don't go deep. Happ probably goes a candidate to go deeper than Odorizzi, who's about a 5 or 6 inning guy. So if I had to bet it, I guess I'd take the Yankees, but I don't have to bet it. And there's not a chance I'll be involved.
I like the under in the first 5 innings, Dave. I think the only two people that are going to be ready to play today are Happ and Odorizzi. They missed out on yesterday's game. I think the bats are going to be tired. I think that game took a lot out of everybody emotionally and physically. Under in the first 5 innings for me. Tony Finn, talk to me about this game. Happ at minus 120 with an 11 as the total.
I need to be, anybody who's going to back the Yankees is going in Happ's pitching. You need to be concerned about the long ball. It's an uptick in his propensity to be a fly ball pitcher, period. Odorizzi's outpitched his peripherals all year. I mean, I like Odorizzi. I think he's a really consistent kid who's going to go out there and consistently give up 3 to 4 runs. He's outpitched those peripherals, and Minnesota has beaten the ball around the ballpark all year long and won games that they shouldn't have won because they just have average pitching. So if you're going to play this, I'm going to play the over.
He's Tony Finn, Dave Cokin with us. Tomorrow's show, guys, I'm going to see if the Wi-Fi makes it to the lake. I want the lake as my backdrop.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to see if we can do that. And I'm going to reach out to Marco D'Angelo and see if he wants to make an appearance with us. Either him, Ralph Michaels, or Teddy. Why don't you guys vote and let me know, and I'll contact them later.
I want to see you do the show from your hoverboard.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
But what I can do, if you like, is while you're talking and taking apart a game, I can just hop on the jet ski, take a quick run around the lake, come back, and you'd still probably be taking apart the game. Before we get into the next game, going back to the crazy day yesterday, how about, Dave, and I'm sure you want to talk about this, how about the Oakland comeback? And then the Houston comeback in the bottom of the 9th to tie it. Just another outstanding baseball game.
Yeah, A.J. Hinch took a shot in the game last night. He tried to let Wade Miley complete the game and get a shutout. It didn't work out very well because he wore out in the 9th inning, and then Osuna came in and didn't do the job last night. So even the Houston bullpen has chinks in the armor right now. Good ball game. Nice win for Oakland.
Yeah, they put them, they're now 2 up on Boston and Tampa Bay for that last wild card spot. But, I'll tell you, brother, like, the move backfired on Wade Miley, but in the same regard, I think it bodes well for the future. I think that's the kind of thing that players want to see their managers do.
So do I agree 100%.
Right. So, yeah. So, I was telling my kid, she started a business. She's been running a business for the last year. She sells hand-painted T-shirts. You can find her stuff at m2designs.ca. And, I was telling her, don't judge your business. You're 18 years old. Your dad pays for all your bills. You live at home rent-free. Don't judge your business on whether it's a success or a failure. All the experience for the last year is going to make you millions of dollars. It just isn't in your bank account yet. And that's the same type of analogy for Houston. I think they're going to get some wins out of that move. I think that's just a beautiful play, and especially in this day and age where you just don't see pitchers pitch complete games anymore. Kansas City playing Atlanta. Atlanta lost yesterday. Minus 200 was the opening line. They've been bet down to minus 185. 9.5 on the board. Dave, real rare day indeed when you have Miami win, Baltimore win, Kansas City win, Cincinnati win, Toronto win.
And Detroit should have won.
I was just going to say, and Detroit goes into extras.
And they should have won. I mean, absolutely great tag play at home plate in the, I think it was the 14th inning? I believe it was. It saved the game. The catcher, I mean, fantastic tag play at home plate. Otherwise, the Tigers win that game.
Let's talk about Atlanta and Kansas City. 77% of the tickets have been written on Atlanta, and rightfully so. I mean, look, Kansas City has been playing good lately, and I mentioned that yesterday, but it was against the White Sox and Detroit. But they took one off of Cleveland on the road. They've now taken one off Atlanta. They've won 6 of their last 8 games, and Atlanta's in a little bit of a tailspin. They lost 2 against Milwaukee. They lost to Washington, 2-2 in the series. But they're reeling a little bit and need to right the ship. Turan versus Keller, I know. I'll just leave it to you. Go ahead. Okay,
well, Brad Keller's pitching good ball for the Royals. He's their ace now, if you want to call it that. He's not a number 1 starter, but he's not bad. I mean, Keller's a guy who would be in most rotations at some point, and that's not shocking. I think he was the 6th overall pick a few years back, so kid's got some ability. He's a pitch-to-contact guy, so we'll see how that works out against the Braves, who can make a lot of hard contact. Julio Teheran, he's not. There's ever going to be a game where I'm going to lay $1.85 with Julio Teheran. So I can't really make a great case for the Royals, but that's too big a price for Teheran to be laying against anybody.
Yeah, with you there. Tony Finn, the nail cleaner.
That's true, yeah. That's as big as my vocabulary gets. Teheran. We talked about him last week, the 3 of us, in an Atlanta game. He was pitching.
Tony, get your face in the screen.
You told me to back up.
Yeah, but we don't need to see half your face. Okay.
Yeah, it's the bad half, too.
Yeah, dude. At least show us the other half.
You're right.
There is no good half. Quickly, Keller. Depends on ground ball. He pitches to contact. As Dave said, he pitches about 50% ground balls, and that's what he needs to do. And it's an absolute necessity for Keller, a guy who strikes out about 6 per 9, walks about 3 per 9. He much like Teheran, and that's he's pitching to contact. Teheran's numbers are average. Luckily, he has an offense behind him that is more competent and capable than Kansas City's. Who wins this game? It's a coin flip, and the price is way too high to back Teheran, as Dave said, at $1.80.
Yeah, I'm with both of you boys. Miami, big win yesterday. They're now in the hunt. They got a shot for the 2025 wild card spot.
Yes.
1-5-1. Great pitching yesterday by Caleb Smith. And today it's Galan versus Lopez. Look, I don't know where to go in this game. Okay. It's basically a pick'em. It's minus 120 for the White Sox. The over and under is 9.5. I'll say this, Dave, before I send it over to you. If you bet the under 9.5 in every Miami game this year, you would have made yourself a killing. So I'm going right to the under here.
Yeah, I mean, look, Gallen's done well since being called up. And Ronaldo Lopez is not good. But he's facing an offense where his 2-pitch arsenal might work. I mean, the Marlins can't hit. They did get 5 runs yesterday, but that's an explosion. for that team. So it's not a game where Lopez is as likely to get blown up as is usually the case for him. I don't know that I have any opinion on the game, so I'm not going to try and bullshit my way into some kind of a lead here. I'm just going to skip it.
Tony, please bullshit.
No, I'm trying to make sure my good half of my face in the picture here.
You look fantastic now.
Yeah, I've never actually seen you look better, Tony. There's a 92-year-old grandmother who's getting wet watching you.
That's disgusting.
Yes, it is. In fact, I have to start doing nails.
I could see one of our listeners, Superman, typing that in his highlight section of our show.
By the way, I will throw this in. I'm going to say that the over and under on 92-year-old women watching the show right now is 0.
I'm going to say the over and under of a 92-year-old woman getting wet is 0. And I'm going to say,
think about that.
I'm going to say getting wet watching Tony Finn is -10.
Okay. I don't want. The only way. Even.
And
Betty, are you talking Betty White here?
Well, Betty White's like 25.
She's the exception to the rule.
Yeah, and the coolest chick to ever live.
Is amazing. She's awesome.
Well, I've had just about enough of this show. I know this. I'm okay never getting a 92-year-old woman wet. In fact, let's not go there.
It's a consensus play.
Tony, Miami against Chicago. Let's go.
First off, Chicago White Sox have been as bad, top to bottom, back to forth, as anybody in baseball, including Miami this year. And if anybody's been more inconsistent than Lopez, I need you to name him in less than 5 seconds. If I'm going to play Miami, I'd like to have a little better than $120 on this team. It's going to lose 100 games. And Chicago flirted with the media and tricked them into believing they had some chance at some wild card, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is a game.
Although, in fairness, they look, Tim Anderson's absence has really hurt this team. I mean, he's been a tremendous offensive player for them, and they've got one of their other, Eloy Jimenez is out. So that has a lot to do with this recent dip.
But I'll ask you, again, I wouldn't argue with that, but I would argue that this team is even close to being a playoff quality team.
That I would agree with.
Yeah, and I'd like to see them do a little more with their youth and their pitching. It's time for them to, if they're in a rebuild mode, let's get into the rebuild mode and escape any thought of being anything but a seller, a youth player, and playing those kids in the next 2 months. That's what I'd like to see.
Okay, guys, last game on tap, and then I'm off to the cottage. Muskoka, here I come. LA Angels versus the Dodgers. Angels won last night. Another doozy of a game. Almost a comeback by the Dodgers. Got their 1 run in the 9th. Needed 2. Here we have a situation where LA is a massive dog. Which LA, though? The Dodgers are minus 189 to 198. The over and under is 9.5. I have no opinion on this game. I'll go straight to you, Dave, and then it's time for me to leave.
And you left out the best part of last night's game, which was the last play of the game. It's 5-4, base hit. Cole Calhoun with a great throw from right field, and he nails Cody Bellinger, Cody Bellinger's fast. I thought for sure that game was going to be tied at 5, and he actually threw Bellinger out by pretty good margin at the plate. So the Angels hang on, and they are a perfect 3-0 against the Dodgers in the Freeway Series, and they play again tonight. And I think they've got one more tomorrow. No, they don't actually. This is the end. This is the last meeting between the two. So I think the Dodgers want to get on the board, and Jose Barria is the right guy for them to do it against. I'll avoid laying the price, but his stuff is really pedestrian. They stopped him from throwing the 2-seamer because it's garbage, and I just think he's a relief pitcher and maybe a fringe one at that. So a pretty good edge for Stripling here, but you won't see me on a 180 favorite, so I guess I'm going to leave it alone.
You know, when you say the word garbage, that's when I can hear your Boston accent come through.
Garbage.
Yeah. Somehow in Boston, they are racist against the letter R. But that's a whole different story. Tony, take us home.
Stripling, this is a big, as Dave said, really is way too big a price. I don't care that it is the Dodgers. I don't care that it's in Chevezarine. It's too big of a price for a kid who has, at least comparing to expectations and what they believe he can do, has been a disappointment. Brea, again, this is an Angels team that can hit the ball. They can hit the ball. In any given night, they have the capability of putting up 7 or 8 runs. And Stripling's not done anything that would lead me to believe that he's worthy of that the number that the odds makers have on him. And I would be over the total, and I would be on the dog in this game if you put a gun to my head.
That's it for the show, boys. Listeners, put up who you want on tomorrow's show, Marco, Ralph, or Teddy. Dave, thanks for joining us. Tomorrow we'll go a little later because I'm going to be playing. That's it. Love you guys. Great show, listeners. Make sure to comment, Prez,